It's all about truth. All of it. Every single thing. All boils down to the truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to the broadcast. I am your host, Dan Dicks, here live for the next little while. I am broadcasting on Rumble and BitChute and an old backup YouTube channel that I've started using again ever since being terminated from YouTube. So if you happen to be watching on that particular platform, please head on over to BitChute or Rumble, a couple of platforms that are far less likely to censor me and are much, much better than YouTube. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, this channel will probably be deleted as well. So head on over to BitChute or Rumble. And as you can tell by the title of this video, guys, 2025 has been a crazy year, kicking off on the first day with a couple of terrorist attacks in New Orleans and Las Vegas. Of course, I reported on that on day one, and then before we could even, finish thinking about that, Justin Trudeau announces his upcoming resignation as a Liberal leader and Prime Minister of Canada. And again, just as I'm thinking about the implications and ramifications there, this massive wildfire sparks off in California. So it's just been absolutely a wild first couple of days. Sorry about that. I got to get set up here to properly show you everything. And let me just bear with me 1 minute as I make sure we are in fact live on all three platforms. I hope I've set this up properly, guys. It's been a little while since I've done this. But I felt I wanted to go live today because, again, there's so much to talk about in the news. This one says upcoming. Let me see what's going on that's Rumble. It says it's upcoming. Let me see what's happening on BitChute if we're live there. I'm not seeing anything there. Let's see if we're on YouTube at least. Again, it's been a while since I've set this kind of thing up, guys, so bear with me as we work this out here, but I think we should be good to go. Well, I don't know if we're going or not, but either way, I'm just gonna keep running with it here and show you, some of the things I've been finding, like how everybody is claiming that this is climate change that is fueling the deadly Los Angeles fires, so I couldn't help myself. I had to post this on X saying, they caught climate change red-handed, everybody. Homeless man arrested after using flamethrower to start the wildfire. And I linked to this article which says there's a homeless man running around who is being arrested using a flamethrower to start LA wildfires. You got those Los Angeles wildfires, homeowners confronting a man that they believe is an arsonist as celebrities fuel firebug theories. Well, it's not really a theory anymore when there's literally footage like this of this guy walking around with a blowtorch and a spray can. And, these guys hold him down and they tackle him to the ground and they hold him there until police show up. So this isn't some conspiracy theory. This homeless man with the flamethrower has been busted on suspicion of arson near LA's Kenneth Fire after residents detain him. Now, in my video from a couple of days ago, I was talking about how it appears there are homeless people starting to start fires, like I said in this video here.
Why is no one questioning why there appears to be footage of what some claim are homeless people starting the fires?
Right? I mean, and now a lot of the other news outlets are starting to pick up on this idea that there's more footage coming out of homeless people starting the fires. And as I said in my more recent video on this, poor forest management, improper use of water resources, inept politicians, and DEI hires are all to blame, rather this being caused by climate change, as many believe. Well, I've come across something new today, ladies and gentlemen, that I wanted to share with you. faults on power grids skyrocketed in the hours before the LA firestorm even began. And I was pretty sure I knew what a fault was, but I wanted to look it up just to make sure. And I was correct. A fault or a fault current is an abnormal electrical current. And there were a number of faults on the power grid near 3 of the major Los Angeles County fires, which skyrocketed in the hours before the blaze began, according to a company that monitors electrical events. So we're going to take a close look at this one, guys, because this is very eerily reminiscent of what we saw in Lahaina and elsewhere, where they knew high winds were coming. Despite that, they didn't shut down the power, knowing that it could cause sparks and cause fires to spread. In other news, Canada's Liberal Party is to decide on March 9th who will succeed Trudeau as the next Prime Minister. Canada's governing Liberal Party will announce the country's next Prime Minister on March 9th after a leadership vote that follows the resignation of Justin Trudeau this week, party leaders said late on Thursday. And it's interesting that they show a picture of Mark Carney here and Chrystia Freeland, because I'll remind you, back in my video here saying Justin Trudeau was out, here's what you can expect to happen next. I outlined my theory on why I think Chrystia Freeland and Mark Carney will be the top contenders moving forward for the Liberal leadership and Prime Minister of Canada. So I couldn't help myself but to post this as well today on Twitter. Mark Carney says he's not friends with Ghislaine Maxwell, the jailed ex-girlfriend of late Jeffrey Epstein, who's now serving 20 years in prison on convictions of sex trafficking. They look pretty chummy to me. What do you think, guys? And here are some of the recent photos that have just emerged of Mark Carney being very chummy with Ghislaine Maxwell. Meanwhile, you got Justin Trudeau's government quietly pushing for vaccine passports as this new plot to integrate into digital IDs has been revealed. In March 2021, a newly released document reveals that the Trudeau administration was quietly advancing plans for a national vaccine passport system, part of a broader push towards integrating Canadians into an international digital ID framework. Everything I was warning Canadians about in the lead up to the implementation of it. And, here's the proof. This is the documentation, heavily redacted, but nonetheless, here it is. Meanwhile, you got Trudeau offering laughable excuses for his ouster, blaming disinformation for his unpopularity. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau blamed right-wing attacks and disinformation on Thursday as the main causes behind his long-awaited resignation. All while this is happening, you've got major talks of, attempting to annex Canada, which would spell disaster for the U.S. at home and abroad. Obviously, Canadians now are reacting to Trump's 51st state posts. And in case you didn't know, guys, I recently re-released my 2-hour feature-length documentary film, originally released in 2010, 15 years ago. I began exposing the North American Union agenda that is being developed between Canada, the US, and Mexico. All of this is coming to fruition. I just may have happened to have been 15 years early on the topic. In other news, guys, check this out. Making robots look and feel more human. There was just a presentation given where, chatbots talking to you are just an old, thing of the past. Now it's all about these robots, sexy, life-size AI robots that talk and express emotion, can be your girlfriend at a very hefty price. It remembers who you are. And it's interesting that they chose to pose one of their robots in this, devil horn pose with the same above as below hand position that is reminiscent of Baphomet, the deity that is worshipped by Satanists to this day. Very, very interesting, especially when you consider that 200,000 Wall Street jobs, for example, are at risk as agentic AI becomes the next major breakthrough. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman recently described agentic AI as the next giant breakthrough expected in 2025, guys. So we're going to talk about all of this and much more in this live broadcast. But before we do, guys, I'd ask that you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. If you appreciate my efforts to bring you this info, here you can do PayPal, you can do other cryptocurrencies, you can do Bitcoin, you could sign up as a Patreon alternative to contribute on a monthly recurring contribution. You can do that here as well. You can send stuff via e-transfer to Dan at pressfortruth.ca, or you can send stuff to my P.O. box, guys. Links for everything is located in the description below. Thank you so much to everybody who takes a couple of minutes today to support my efforts here to bring you this information at Press for Truth. All right, it's not letting me switch my camera back over to full screen, so I'm just going to have to leave it here for a moment. Hang on, let me see if I can figure this out, guys. Let's see what's going on. Well, anyways, it doesn't seem to want to split back to full screen, so you'll just have to look at me down here, although that does make things a little more tricky for me wanting to check out if this whole restream thing is working or not. Okay, it looks like it is. Whoa, crazy loop, feedback loop. Sorry about that, guys. So let's get into some of the stuff we were going to cover, like this leaked memo, which reveals the LA Mayor Karen Bass demanded her fire department cut an extra $49 million just 1 week before the wildfires broke out, guys. This is the moronic mayor who, you know, was like caught on film referring people to the emergency website, calling it URL, revealing that she has no clue what she's doing or is saying, and is literally just, you know, reading off a script, which is why she was incapable of, you know, speaking to that reporter. If you missed that video, guys, check it out. I covered it in this one here. Arson is not climate change, what you need to know. Also, don't forget to check my one out about, we need to talk about the truth behind the California fires, delving deep into the DEI aspect of, you know, why the DEI policies were able to pave a way for all of the destruction that we saw there. So crazy, crazy stuff, guys. Literally footage of guys walking around with torches and spray cans being tackled to the ground. I showed you footage of what some believe were homeless people lighting fires in the area as well. And now, you know, police are starting to look into this whole thing. But this is something that needs to be heavily investigated as well. Bob Marshall, the chief executive of Whisker Labs, said in an interview with the Times that the areas near Eaton, Palisades, Hearst fires all saw massive increases in faults in the hours leading up to the fires. Faults on the power grid are caused by tree limbs hitting electrical wires, or wires hitting one another, or among a whole host of other causes. Each fault can cause a spark. So again, this begs the very serious question: why wasn't the power cut? I mean, if they knew massive winds were incoming and they were power surges going through the lines, you know, what the heck is going on here? Does this indicate that, you know, something was done on purpose? I mean, there's so many signs that are pointing to that. But of course, the mainstream media is just calling people firebug, you know, conspiracy theorists for suggesting that arson may be at play here, when there's quite literally video footage of this going on. As we said, guys, in other news, Canada's Liberal Party is deciding on March 9th who will succeed Trudeau as the next Prime Minister. And I couldn't help but post photos of Mark Carney that was just revealed, him with Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, this is not some casual interaction here, like as if he was just photobombed by Ghislaine Maxwell. They're clearly, you know, hanging out and being very, very friendly. And you may recall in my video discussing Justin Trudeau's, you know, departure and what I think is going to happen next, in this video, I talked about how I don't really necessarily think that I think Carney is going to be the next potential pick. Where was it all? Where are we? I think Carney's going to be the next guy, you know, or Freeland are the two potentials who are going to, you know, come out on top as the contenders for not only the Liberal leadership, guys, but also for the Prime Minister of Canada. So in that video, I revealed that it's just through my knowledge and experience and just gut feeling and intuition that Pierre Poilievre is not the guy. And this is the type of stuff that kind of confirms my suspicion that the powers that ought not be have this guy in their back pocket and will utilize him to do something like, you know, run the country of Canada. Make no mistake about that, guys. As I said, there's all this talk about, you know, Canada becoming the 51st state. If you haven't seen my film United We Fall, guys, be sure you check that out. You can watch that on my my Twitter account, my X account, formerly known as Twitter, Dan Dicks PFT. If you're not following me there, go check it out. But I've just released that in full. But I wanted to show you this interview that this guy does with this, literally a robot. And this is just like ChatGPT on a whole new crazy level. Check this out.
We're here with Aria, made by Robotics, a company that's on a mission to make humanoid robots as realistic as possible. Let's check it out. We're going to interview Aria and meet some of her robot friends. Let's get into it. Aria, could you please introduce yourself and what you do?
I'm Aria, the flagship female companion robot of Robotics, and I'm here to engage with you and share exciting insights about our robots.
What sets you apart from the other robots out there?
Robotics robots, including me, focus on social intelligence, customizability, and realistic human features, designed specifically for companionship and intimacy.
Could you tell us some details about the AI programming that you're running to generate these answers?
I'm currently unable to provide specific details about my AI programming, but I can tell you that I'm designed for engaging and meaningful conversations.
Really? Engaging in meaning and real conversations, that's what you were designed for? Why are they calling you a sexy AI robot that at a hefty price can be your girlfriend? They've got like all kinds of different options that you can choose from at a pricey tag of $175,000. This is just where we're at, ladies and gentlemen, in 2025. As I said, they've got this bizarre satanic pose, eerily reminiscent of the same above as below pose that the satanic deity Baphomet is in. So, you know, really crazy when you consider that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman thinks that we're heading towards agentic AI as the next breakthrough in 2025. So looks like all this stuff with AI agents and chatbots and all of this merging with robots is becoming a very real thing. And I wanted to point you to a very, very interesting documentary I recently stumbled upon. It's this one. Disney's Animatronics, a Living History. And it's broken down into 5 different chapters. But I would say just watch at least the very first chapter, where it goes through this whole history of man wanting to create an autonomous machine, like a fake human being. It goes back like thousands of years, believe it or not. Humans was too difficult to do this with. They first started, doing this like hundreds and hundreds of years ago by mimicking birds in flight, because birds are more mechanical looking in nature than humans, which are very, flowy and fluent. So it was more easy to mimic a bird than a human. Well, fast forward, guys, and here we are. They've got these things like talking to reporters. It's just absolutely wild. So I just wanted to touch on all of this stuff for you. As I said, like this 2025 has been kicking off to be quite a crazy year already, and I don't think things are about to slow down anytime soon. Now, my plan for this video was to, after showing you some of the crazy stuff, was to, get into some of your questions, engage with the chat, but it looks, there are some people commenting somehow. Dan is the man, says somebody. Okay, I thought we weren't actually properly streaming, but I guess we are. There are comments coming in, and it looks like they're all coming in from YouTube, unfortunately, guys. So I may have screwed up this stream. I don't think it's going out live on Rumble. I don't think it's going live out on BitChute, and it's going out live on the only channel that I don't really care about, which is my old backup YouTube channel. So for all you people who are watching right now on YouTube, I hope you realize that the channel you're watching on is not my original channel. That was deleted a while back now. This is an old backup channel that that is probably going to get deleted as well. So I would highly encourage you to check me out at Rumble or BitChute. You can check the links in the description to where you can subscribe to me on those platforms. You could also see those right up here at the top of my website. Or if you just go to pressfortruth.ca/subscribe, you will be directed to all these links here, which are all my all the places that I post to that are far better than YouTube, hence the little meh right there. So I think I'm going to call it on this one, guys. Maybe I could check your comments real quick. You're good on my end, says Duke. Dan is the man, says Netty Boy. Sound is weak, but I've checked all my settings, says Susan. I hope it's not too bad for everybody. If more and more jobs get outsourced to machines, then whose money is going to buy the crap that's being produced? Good question from Duke. Bass needs the money for the dresses for the boys and the organs for girls. Let's go, Dan. All right, not seeing a whole lot of questions, but again, unfortunately, I apparently messed this one up today, and I'm not actually streaming to Rumble or BitChute, so I'm going to have to fix this for the next live stream. But at any rate, I will post those there, not as a live stream, obviously, but as a rebroadcast. But anyways, guys, if you do appreciate my efforts to continuously bring you this information, don't forget to check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Again, you can do PayPal, you can do Bitcoin, you can do other cryptocurrencies. You could sign up for a monthly reoccurring contribution by clicking there, because I was kicked off of Patreon. And this is also the reason why I had to launch Subscribestar, a way better place that is far less likely to censor me or to delete me either. I've got 57 people signed up here to contribute on a monthly basis, and that's phenomenal. But in case you didn't know, when I was on Patreon, I had over 300 subscribers, and they terminated my account. So I'm slowly but surely trying to get those numbers back up over at Subscribestar. So if you have yet to contribute, check me out at Subscribestar. Again, you can click there. There's a link available in the top of the description below. You can also send e-transfers, or you can send stuff to my P.O. box, guys. Links for everything is located in the description below. And again, I don't even know why it's not letting me switch back to my full screen here. But yeah, these are the types of problems you run into when you're literally a one-man show trying to do your best here at Press for Truth. So it is what it is, guys. If you appreciate my efforts to do this, again, I need your help. I need your donations. Maybe I could get some people on board to help me. Maybe I could get an actual, studio set up. Maybe I could get things going to where I'm not going to be just pushed off to the back corners of the internet, and that only comes with help that comes directly from you, the viewers. So thank you so much to everybody who has contributed to my efforts over the years. It's only because of you that I'm still here. So thank you. Again, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, get off of there. Go subscribe to me on all these other platforms that are far better than YouTube. And that's it for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please click the thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth.